Welcome to the Market Rant. My name is Joe Fahmy alongside my co-host, Tom Canfield. How are you, Tom?
I'm good, Joe. How are you today?
I am doing great. Went for a run this morning, so I feel good.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. I did an extra mile, too, because the ice cream truck just wouldn't stop.
That is beautiful.
So I got some extra exercise.
You got those extra calories in, though?
Yeah, that's right.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
How was your week trading?
Actually, it was a really good week.
Yeah.
It was, I was really happy with it.
That's
as a
great.
general rule.
It's great. It's great to hear. You're getting a lot of
Friday was a bitch, but you know.
Yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah. Crazy.
I wanted to jump right in because you're getting a lot of questions about your sort of slogan or, be dumb, follow price. It's sort of a trademark of yours, and you're getting a lot of questions. I know you posted some notes. You said
I did.
Try to help explain them. So go ahead and go. Let's jump right in.
I didn't want to miss anything, and so I was like scribbling it all down, kind of what I wanted to say about it, because I've been getting a ton of DMs saying, "Could you explain what it means to be dumb a little bit more? What do you mean by be dumb? And whatever and stuff." Or people saying, "Oh, but you got to be this and you got to be that and whatever." And so it's like, okay, let me just take a moment and explain exactly what I'm talking about here. So. And I'm going to read what I wrote down. And if you want a hard copy of it, it's on Twitter. I took a picture of this very page with my chicken scratch. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. I got to get my other glasses.
That's okay. So, yeah, it's just so people know it's at Canny4, and you posted these snapshots of these notes.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the question that you're asking yourself, or that I'm asking myself as I'm observing what's going on. Are institutional money managers with the capital to move stocks and the market? So I'm talking big boys with big fucking money. Are they putting money to work buying growth stocks, defined as, the stocks that outpace the market in good times and do worse in bad times? That's what having a high beta means. They're volatile. Okay. And are those stocks breaking out to new highs on expanding volume, which means that that's where the institutions are really doing it? If the answer to this is yes, then they have determined that the market is healthy. Therefore, I have determined that the market is healthy.
Yeah, but I don't agree with it because of my thoughts.
Well, your thoughts don't fucking matter. That's just the truth of it, Joe, and neither do mine. And
by the way, I was playing devil's advocate.
Right.
Hopefully people know there's sarcasm, and I do agree with it. But go ahead.
But why are they buying? Why do I have to follow them? Why are they buying? I want to understand what they know. Why? I wrote it down clear. Why doesn't fucking matter? It just doesn't matter. Why a stock is going up is immaterial to your success, and the more you need to know why, the worse off you're going to be.
But people want to know that. People want to know the why.
I know. And it's
people they have to justify every move in the market or a stock that fits their narrative, and they don't understand the market doesn't care about your narrative.
Well, and my next point goes to that, because I say decisions are made based on information that you and I will never have. So I trust the work that is being done by these institutions to gather information. They're out there, they got their minions, they got their MBAs and their little people lifting up rocks and whatever that they're paying a ton of money to gather information that's never going to be public.
Resources we don't have.
Massively. And they're sitting in a think tank and they're playing the game theory out, of this and that, of everything that can happen. And at the end of the day, then they're putting their capital to work based on all myriads of information that we just don't have. And so I trust that work. And I just get really dumb and follow what they're doing. It's just that simple. I walk in, I study the bars or the candles. I see what they say, because the people that are moving those bars have information that none of us will ever have. They have agendas that we can't control. And so my job is to just observe what is happening and react to it. So basically, be dumb, follow price means it's about releasing control of knowing or understanding the logic of the market and your ego and your security and your need to know why. You got to let go of all that. Once you let go of all that and let the screen tell you what's going on, you're going to be so much happier, because all this shit gets in our head. And Joe, you and I talked about it yesterday on the phone, where you said,
yeah,
when I said, if you didn't know, and I can't remember what it was, like 5 or 6 weeks ago, when I said, you quote me better than I quote myself. But if
you had a great line 5 or 6 weeks ago. You said, and it resonated with me so much, because it was, if you didn't know what was going on in the world, you would be borrowing money to pour into this market. You didn't say this yesterday. You didn't say this a week ago. You said this 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Right.
You can go back to the tape and watch it. And to me, that resonated, because we're all human, and I'm running my screens and I'm seeing stocks set up in the same, we do very similar work. But of course, being human, yeah, but there's all these tens of millions of people unemployed, and when is the country going to go open up? This was even before all these unfortunate riots, which is not what I'm getting at. I'm talking about just the virus concerns.
Correct.
And you were saying, if you could shut all that out and just look at the charts. Now, my question to you is, as being human, most people would probably say to you, yeah, but what about this? Yeah, but what about that?
Exactly. And the point is, you deal with that when that materializes in the price action of the markets and of the stocks. I don't know how else to say it. It's kind of because it's like, listen, being dumb is not an easy thing, because I mean, it's a gift. It's a born gift. It's not a born gift, but I mean, it's a skill that you have to acquire, because
that's the title of this. It's a gift to be dumb.
It's a gift to be dumb. And I don't, it's dumb is the new smart or whatever, but it's like like price action. I'll be the first to admit the price action, because I said I'm shaving my head if that was the low. And it looks like I'm probably shaving my head on December 31st of this year, because my logic does not understand what has happened. It makes no sense. Yes, I can sit here and go, objectively, it's stupid. I don't understand it. The Fed is screwing up our country. You want to get more, but business is business, people.
Market doesn't care about that either.
Market doesn't give a shit what I actually think. And the bottom line is, prices are defying that logic for whatever reason. And in 6 months, we'll go, oh shit, now I get it. But our job is to separate that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of sum up with what you say in a similar fashion. 90% of what I use to judge the health of the market is the price action of leading stocks.
Absolutely.
Stocks. If they are setting up, breaking out on great volume and holding their breakouts, pulling back to logical support levels on light volume, and like you talked about with some of these software names going up huge, and you're like, they're not moving. These are like 30, 40, 50 billion. They're not penny stocks. They're billion market cap companies that are not moving. So when you see that happen, there's no news in this. There's no, any, balance sheets in this, not to disrespect that, but I just think that it's just simply, that's what I do too. I'm looking at price. They're breaking out. They're working. They're stair-stepping. They're going higher. To me, that's a healthy market. Nothing else
It's
matters.
fake money. It's fake money that's getting printed, and the Fed's just feeding this.
What are you going to do? Argue with it, or are you going to argue with it or take advantage of it?
So it's a mirage. It's not for real.
It's
not
like,
sustainable.
Well, this is going to ruin the dollar, and it's going to ruin things for my grandkids. Shut up. You probably can't even stand your grandkids after 3 minutes with them, and you want someone else to babysit them.
I don't mean that. Fuck off and trade. I mean,
I don't mean
seriously.
that literally. I'm just saying, stop with this. Yeah, it's going to ruin our stuff for our grandkids. Most people aren't even that concerned about that. But I just think that.
But even if that's right, so what? That's your job is what you do today. Your job is interpreting what's going on today. Yes, your grandkids are fucked. Fine, we'll give that to you. My grandkids are fucked, but my job's still to make money so that my grandkids can have a roof over them. Well, actually, that's their parents' job, but anyway, you get my point.
I get your point.
Like it's our job still is today to make money following what the stocks are doing today, no matter.
I think the human brain is always wired for what's what can go wrong. It's the way we're wired. I think since we were cavemen and you're wondering in the bushes behind you, what animal's going to attack me and how am I going to put food on the table? Like, I just think the human brain, like we've evolved as humans, but the human brain's been the same for billions of years or however long you want to go back. So because of that, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to stress, but it's just constantly wired to stress.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I am saying, yes, there are things in the future that will happen that we should be concerned about, but market-wise as traders, that is not our job to focus on and stress about.
Are other events like the events that we're dealing with in today's world going to come in some shape or form in the future? Probably. Do I think that we as a human race can deal with these issues? Well, history says we've dealt with them so far. So and the market adjusts to that. And
I think I was just going to say before I forget, I think that people have, you kind of alluded to this earlier, this need to be right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean any disrespect because I know a lot of people, yourself included, MBAs and all this stuff, but because you got an MBA from a top school and because this is what they taught you in the textbooks and the whole macro and microeconomics and balance sheets and all that stuff, that I'm not saying that goes all out the window, but I'm just saying that doesn't give you a right to be successful in the market. That doesn't give you the right to argue with the market. You can, but if you're not following price, I'm sorry, the market doesn't care. You could have more degrees than a thermometer. The market doesn't care.
It's like
the market does not care.
Our sense of our own intelligence works against us. Basically, if because some people just they're very smart people. Very smart people a lot of times are really screwed in trading because they cannot bring themselves down to a level of subservience, of submission. It's basically what it is. And
it's ego.
Yeah, their ego about their intellect is so strong, and their need to demonstrate their prowess and to have a reason and to be able to show people they know what they're doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I will say that publicly. I have no idea what I'm doing other than I'm trying to keep the times when I'm wrong, not to kick my ass, and the times when I'm right to be better than the times when I'm wrong. It's just that simple. And I'm just, constantly, trying
we're gonna make tons of mistakes. We're going to make tons of mistakes. Just minimize them.
Yeah. I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get off of that. And we'll never really get off of it because all this stuff weaves together, because what we're saying is, we repeat ourselves a lot if you haven't noticed, because there's only like 4 or 5 real true. A, that's all the capacity that either Joe or I have. Yeah. And B, this shit's really simple, but it requires you to take a hard look at yourself and be able to answer the tough questions that sit in you.
The other thing is, I think it requires repetition.
Oh God.
I think it requires, like, some people have their rules scotch taped, whatever, around their monitors, written on a piece of paper, whatever. And it's like they say, repetition's the mother of skill. How do you get better at golf or tennis or hockey, whatever? It's just practicing that swing, whatever sport, to use simple sports. So it's repetition, repetition, repetition. So with the market, we have these rules, but our brain sometimes might wander, or we might forget them, or a bull market will make us forget there are corrections and bear markets might make us forget that there's actually a bull market and a new uptrend coming. So my point is, we need to wire our brains to constantly remind ourselves with this consistency. So yes, we might be talking about the same flavor of the same 3 or 4 topics, but I think it's helpful not only for us, but just so people constantly hear this.
Yeah, because we have to learn how to get good at being wrong. That's part of this process. You need screen time and experience it, clicking that fucking mouse and then just getting it kicked in your face and going, oh, and then getting yourself out and turning around and going, okay, next. You got to learn how to clear your brain. Like, that's fucking hard. But over time, you learn. And there's nothing that Joe or I in that situation can teach you. We can encourage you. but we're not better traders than you. We're not better traders. We have no holy grail or no super magic formula that makes us just crush it all the time. We're making as many mistakes as the next guy. But deep down, and this may sound harsh, we're just tougher than you are. We deal with getting the shit kicked out of us.
I don't think it's harsh. I don't think it's harsh because that's a great segue into what I need your help with, which we talked a little bit about before. Is I'm still, and I love the emails, I love the feedback from people, and I'm grateful for getting these emails. So I'm not complaining about it, but I'm getting so many that all have to deal with exactly what you talk about, what you just said, being tougher, being mentally tough.
Yeah.
And it's just there's a lot of people who are, whether it's angry, confused, I don't get this market, frustrated, whatever word you want to use. And they're emailing me saying, I need help, with all of this mental toughness.
Put that email up so that we can
pull up. Yeah, let me pull up.
Because you had one that was really.
Let me pull this up so people can take a look. And if you want to, so just the background is someone emailed me saying, no matter what I do, I'm going to be wrong. And I politely said, all right, first of all, stop with that mentality, because that self-talk, which we talked about, I think in the second podcast, your self-talk is so important. And and David Coggins says this, the number one conversation you are going to have with yourself, the number one conversation you'll ever have in your life is the one you have with yourself. We wake up with it, we walk around with it, we go to bed with it, and we're going to act on it, good or bad. So my point is, if you're telling yourself, everything I'm going to do is going to be wrong, no matter what I do is going to be wrong, guess what? You're going to be wrong. So go ahead and read it if you want to take a look.
Oh, you want me to read it?
No, so
did you want me to read it? I'll read it.
Because when I sent it to you, you had comments on, or maybe
I'll
read it and
the whole thing. Okay, fine.
I'm just saying the background is, and comment whenever you want. The background is, no matter what I do, I'm going to be wrong. And he says, what I meant by that is I wait for a pullback. It doesn't come because the stock is strong. And when I enter it immediately, it drops from there. I feel like I should do the opposite. And my head's all screwed up with emotions.
Keep going.
So when I begin to get emotional, I don't even want to turn my computer on because I know I'm going to do something stupid. The anger, the resentment remains. I don't know how to get over it. And this guy's a super, super nice guy. We're not picking on him and there's no name there. It's just, I genuinely want to help people. I just don't know how to answer stuff like this.
Right.
I have let me stop sharing. I have a polite answer and I have a rude answer, but please go ahead because I want your feedback.
It's better for me to give the rude answer to Weiner 101 from Poor Me, at poorme.com, whatever. But specifically to his issue, like in our business now, everything is just my opinion, people. You're always free to disagree and fire away. But to me, entries are everything. If you miss your entry, you miss the trade. So he's kind of talking about, it explodes on me. And then if I chase it, he's talking about chasing it or waiting and whatever and being in limbo. And the bottom line is you miss the entry. And if you miss the entry and you miss the trade, big fucking deal.
Let it go. I miss entries all the time. I put out charts and someone's like, did you take it? I'm like, no. Why? Well, one, because I can't own everything. And
but
two,
you got to be in Tesla. You got to be in Tesla.
You have to own everything. Yeah, I have to own everything.
You got to be in the one that goes 300%.
Twitter. We got to own everything that's up 100% that day. Right. But my point is, I'm okay with that. I have alerts go off on something I absolutely love, and I let it go because I've learned over time, it's okay. I want longevity. I want consistency. I want to be in this forever. And I've accepted I'm going to miss things. But my question is, how do you, I don't know what the right word is, like teach that to someone or help them to be okay with missing things?
Well, the first thing that you have to understand is this market, any market, whatever it is, opportunities are anew every day.
Yeah.
Every day. We are in this game where there are thousands of things moving all the time. And so there's always a new opportunity. So getting bent about missing one opportunity is just, it's absolutely, it's illogical. It's like, it's scarcity. It's like a scarcity mindset. There may not be, I may not have another opportunity like this in the next 6 months. Well, so fucking what? You know, that's to see the opportunity, to capitalize on the opportunity, and to exploit the opportunity and do really well in it is a rare thing, people. It's not commonplace like everybody wants you to think. It's a rare thing. Most of the time you're grinding and nibbling and managing and this and that, but to see it, execute, and capitalize on the run, and it all works out perfectly, that it's not that common. So stop thinking and acting like it is. But the second point is, if you are constantly missing these opportunities, you got to sit down and say, why? Don't ask me. Don't ask Joe. You got to figure out why you're not hitting these. Are you not prepared? Is your preparation not good enough? Are you not seeing these stocks? Does your preparation need to change? Do your alert systems need to change? Well, but my software didn't alert. It's your fault. Well, but this and that. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. You missed it. It's your fucking fault. Figure out why and adapt. Don't ask anybody else, because they're not there. They're not inside your head.
I think a lot of it, and the flavor of all these emails, or 90% of them, have to do with, no, I love it. I absolutely love what you just said. It just triggered me to think about confidence. You're basically, so the flavor of all these emails is fear. I'm losing my confidence. It goes up, I miss it, I buy it, it goes down. I Costanza, I just do the opposite. So this, I'm not picking on this one person. So many people have told me this. I should just do the opposite of everything I think. Now, that's besides the fact that's toxic thinking, but we've
all been through it, though. I completely identify. I'm pounding this guy on the email, and yet I totally identify with him at the same time.
Of course I identify with it. My direct answer, because I genuinely, and I know you do too, we want to help people if we can, and tell people, look, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. And the nice answer is, there'll be another trade, wait for your pitch and all that. The direct answer I really want to say is put in the fucking work and toughen the fuck up. That's really what I want to say, which I just said it, but I can't really respond to emails like that. But that's really what I want to say. But
it might hurt business.
All right, exactly. So, but my thing is, okay, fine. How do I toughen up? How do I get over that I just missed a 20% run in a stock or a 30% run in the market? Well, how do I get over that mentally?
Stop having a scarcity mindset that single opportunity is that important. No one trade is important.
Or that it was the only opportunity ever in our lifetimes.
Right. No one trade is that important. I'm just telling you that right now. And if it is, then you're fucked. Sorry, you're fucked. I think that, for me anyway, you need to have this will to constantly be pushing forward. No matter what happens, you've got to kind of have this underlying will that's just constantly pushing you forward, knowing that you're going to get where you're trying to go, no matter exactly what's happening right in front of your face at the time. And then secondly, you got to have this voice in your head, and it's helped me tremendously, and I got other strategies I can get into later. You got to have this voice in your head that is telling you that tomorrow will be better than today. You have to have that voice and that hope and that belief as you're pushing yourself into this unknown future of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. I don't care if it's trading or walking up a fucking mountain or trying to be, somebody that tightrope walks. I don't care. You've got to have this like internal will that just keeps pushing you. And secondly, you've got to believe that tomorrow's going to be better than today.
So your self-talk is a lot stronger than most people's. Or you try to be that way.
It's essential. I mean, think of it logically. If tomorrow's not going to be better than today, then what have I got to look forward to? We have to expect that out of ourselves. Not just as traders. I got to be careful because then I get into society and all that. But just
I know.
And we don't.
I know what you mean, though. I mean,
but there's got to be this hope in what you're doing And this belief that comes from, Joe, what you're talking about, this confidence, where does that come from? And sometimes it just, you've got to create that. You're smart enough. I'm telling you right now, anybody that's listening to this or watching this or whatever, you're smart enough, you're good enough. You might not be dumb enough, but you're definitely smart enough. And you have what you need. You have what you need.
Amen. Everybody does. Everybody does.
You just have to get tougher.
You have to believe it. You have to believe it too.
And accept the ass beatings, analyze them, figure out if there's a pattern. Let me use an example real quick.
Go ahead.
But it's like, I've always had this little, like, I know I'm not supposed to trade pre-market, and I've said it before, and I've tweeted about it in the past and whatever, but I can't sometimes help myself. Like, I got to get in there. I know something, and I got to get in there. Ooh, it's 7:00 and I'm going to get in there before, all the other clowns actually sit down at their desk and be fucking smart and whatever. And I shit you not, a week ago Tuesday, I got all excited. I've kind of blocked the experience out of my mind, but like, I thought Boeing was ready to rip and go, and there was high volume and it was gapped up, and I didn't bother to look why or whatever. I just went in and I bought a bunch of shares. And then all of a sudden I saw that Seattle Genetics got an upgrade from Goldman Sachs and whatever. And we liked that chart and whatever. And so I snuck in because it hadn't really done a whole lot. It was up like 4 or 5 points, but on something like that, that's not that big a deal. And I bought a nice chunk of that too. And I mean, and then the market opened, and I mean, in the first 10 minutes, I was down like $16,000 so fast. It wasn't even funny. Doing something I know I'm not supposed to do. And then I spent the entire rest of the day, I blew out of those things, just motherfucking myself like crazy, which is great self-talk. And then I spent the whole rest of the day on tilt trying to, recover that, and ended up down 25 grand for the day. Attaboy, Tommy. That's the way to mark your territory.
But just so people know, you've clawed back, and then some since then.
In the next 7 days,
I know you talk about your mistakes,
some.
Right? But
But
go ahead. I know there's a lesson here. Yeah.
You wipe it out because you find a way to step away from it all and to breathe and to remind yourself that you're good and to get to neutral. And then you just have to figure out a way to go back to doing what you do, but you become resolute about the shit that you can't do anymore. And so I finally committed openly to my wife and everybody, this is who I am. I do not ever pre-market trade, no matter what. And I also use the word fuck. Those are the two founding principles that I currently have in my identity that are non-negotiable. I do not pre-market trade, and I do use the word fuck.
That's okay.
Yes, and I curse. And since
the difference is I curse and I pre-market trade. So
well, but you don't have an issue with it. There are a lot of people that pre-market trade and they're fabulous with it. It just, I don't know how to do it.
Sometimes you get a bullshit gap and I actually want to sell into it. So whatever. Right. But anyways, I think it comes down to for me, how I bounce back is I know I've had success in the past, and I remind myself I've been successful in the past. So when I go through ruts, I know what I'm capable of. So someone might ask, well, I'm kind of new and I haven't had any success. And my answer to that is at least start small and take some action, because guess what? You might end up being right. This fear of, like I said, millions of times, if you buy 100 shares normally, go in for 20 or 30 or 50 shares, at least something, so that you can build your confidence. You work with small weights, and as you continue to work, guess what? You can move up to the bigger weights and you get stronger and you get more confident. So start with something small, because guess what? You might actually be right. And then when you buy that small position, now guess what? You've had a little success and you can build off of that. Right. But it doesn't start unless you believe it and you take some action. And guess what? If you're wrong, do some post-analysis, make some adjustments. At least you were wrong with a smaller amount, and pick yourself up and try it again.
One last thought on fear, because I know we kind of got to wrap this up, but I think it's really important that you start asking yourself questions and you just start walking shit back, because it's like, you're afraid of being, what are you afraid of? Oh, I'm afraid of being wrong. Okay. Why are you afraid of being wrong? Well, what is it that you're going to lose being wrong? What is that? Well, I don't want my friends to think I'm wrong. I have a lot of ego wrapped up in the fact that they think that I'm knowledgeable in this area. Okay. Well, or I'm afraid of losing money. Okay. Well, why are you afraid of losing money? Do you not think you're ever going to make it in the future? What's your financial, but I've been able to walk this shit back in my life to things in my childhood, and you really start to see a shape of who you are. And it's like, because that fear mechanism is triggering at a subconscious level, and it's like it's automatic
from something in your life, whether it's current or in the past. Absolutely.
It goes back to different, and I've got different hot buttons and different triggers that come from events in my past, and it's important that you respect that shit and take time to kind of walk yourself back through it, so at least you understand what's operating on you when you're making decisions that are based on things other than what you are seeing on the screen. Oh shit, I might be wrong. Well, yeah, you might be wrong. This game's like 50-50. I mean, you're wrong half the time. Why do you care so much this time versus last time? I mean, why? Ask yourself, which is a whole nother, could be shit that's going on in your life. And we talked about, that's a whole other episode.
We could do that in a whole other episode. But I think you're right. It's just a matter of, that mental toughness is just, it has to be consistent. That self-talk has to be consistent, and you just got to work at it. And one last thing to touch on, the preparation, when I said you got to work, not just work at the mental toughness, but put in the work so that you feel more comfortable buying something because you believe in it, not because someone tweeted it out or put it out on, a newsletter or something. And I don't disrespect that. I'm just saying I have more confidence when I've done the work, and then maybe someone I respect on top of it likes it. Then that adds to the confidence, but it's because the first step was already there. I put in the work and did the research and believe in the stock to begin with.
Yeah. The idea is I'm absolute in the fact that you've got to get your own ideas. And I know everybody laughed at what I said in the first episode or whatever, when I said, fuck off, get your own ideas. But there was a point to that. And I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm challenging you because it is what will build your confidence. It is what will allow you to have ownership of your ideas that'll cause you. So now you got nowhere to point the finger. Well, Joe said it was a good idea. Well, you're stupid for listening to Joe.
I have a stop, and I'm wrong a lot, and I admit I'm wrong a lot, but I'm also going to make that decision to stop myself out. Yeah, but you liked it. Well, you know what? Price, be dumb and follow price. The price told me to follow it out.
Wrong for $3, wrong for $3, wrong for $3, right for 15. That's the way the game works. It's just, come on, people. But anyway, we're getting a little long-winded, I think. I don't know.
I love this talk, and I appreciate your answers because it's that's again a whole other topic about the fear of people just don't want to be wrong, and they don't understand that. I say this every single episode. We've been doing this a combined almost 50 years. We're wrong all the time. Accept you're going to be wrong. Just minimize those mistakes, learn from them, and pick yourself up.
Yeah. And chasing shit after you've missed the entry, it's just
let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
And if you're getting away with it right now, you're getting away with it because you're in an absurdly strong market, and there's going to come a time where you're going to really wish you'd been a little bit more precise about your entries. So my suggestion is be really precise about your entries. I mean, it's just, and if you miss them, you miss them. You wait an hour and another one goes, or you maybe have to wait 2 days, depending on your time frames and whatever, but another one's coming. There's always another train coming. You got to have that belief so that you don't get hooked on one trade, because that's the shit that'll kill you.
Let it go and wait for the next one.
Let it go.
So we didn't have any charts, but we have a special thing. Hopefully this week, a couple special guests where we're gonna. So for people who complain,
we'll chart your ass off. We're gonna flood you with just.
It's gonna be all gross. Charts.
Right. It's gonna be like Joe's gonna have like a chart orgy, and he's gonna be so happy. He's gonna be rolling around like a pig in slop and stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna lube myself
scares
up
the hell out of me
for the chart episodes.
I'm okay with it.
Anyway, thank you for your feedback, my friend. I'm excited for the next chart episode. Good luck to everyone this week trading, and we'll see you next time. Any closing words or?
Nope.
We're good.
Everybody stay healthy, stay safe,
and stay confident.
You got it.
All right. Thank you, my friend. We'll see you guys later.
You bet, Joe. Take care, bud.
Bye.